This is TV5 News, bringing coverage closer to home.
The final results are in and have been counted. Good evening, I'm Tracy Campbell.
And I'm Mark Despotakis. Voter turnout was low yesterday, but the election did go on. The major Pennsylvania races were the governor and a United States Senate office. Governor Tom Ridge, Republican incumbent, had a strong showing, winning over half of the votes. Ridge and Lieutenant Governor Mark Schweiker will return for a second term. Ivan Itkin, Democratic challenger, received just over 30% of the statewide vote. A female candidate, Peg Luxick of the Constitutional Party, finished with 10% of the vote. Locally in the race, Luxick beat Democrat Ivan Itkin by 60 votes. Itkin and Luxick each received 20% of the Clarion County vote.
The U.S. Senate race also produced a Republican winner. Incumbent Arlen Specter received over 60% of the vote. Democratic challenger Bill Lloyd received 35%. Specter is now a record holder. He's the first Pennsylvania senator to successfully win 4 straight terms in office. The 5th congressional district saw Republican John E. Peterson winning his 2nd term in office. He beat William Belitskis of the Green Party by a wide margin in the district. In Clarion County alone, Peterson had 7,753 votes, while Belitskis had 1,259 votes.
The other local race that made news was the race in the 63rd State General Assembly District. Fred McElhatton, who was nominated as both a Democrat and a Republican, won by a sizable margin over Vernon L. Etzel of the Libertarian Party. I spoke with Vernon Etzel last night, and he noted that he was not in this race to win, rather to raise awareness to people that there are other candidates and other parties out there. McElhatton will be serving his 2nd consecutive term in office. The 63rd District is composed of Clarion County and the eastern third of Armstrong County.
There were 2 resolutions on the ballot yesterday. The first resolution would allow prosecutors to deny defendants' request for a non-jury trial. The resolution passed, as did the second one, which would allow judges to deny to those defendants which are seen to have danger to society or accused of murder. In the national election news, the Republican Party lost a few seats in the House and failed to gain any seats in the Senate. President Clinton is proud of the fact that the Democrats did gain some seats in Congress. Clinton would not comment on how this election would affect impeachment proceedings. His only comment was that it's in the hands of the American people.
New York Senator Alphonse D'Amato was defeated by his Democratic challenger, Charles Schumer. The race was one of the most heated in the country. Over $35 million was spent by the 2 candidates. Schumer challenged D'Amato's credibility throughout the race. D'Amato wasn't the only Republican to lose his seat. Lon Faircloth of North Carolina was defeated by his Democratic challenger as well. The Republicans did make up their losses in other races around the country.
When we come back, we'll have a look at the local and state news as well as the TV5 Weather Center forecast.
TV5 brings coverage closer to home.
At the Carpet Barn in Clarion, all we do is cover floors. But we do cover all types of floors. We do business floors, church floors, healthcare floors, and of course, home floors. So if you have a floor that needs a touch of style and elegance, come to the Carpet Barn, South 5th Avenue in Clarion. We have your best interest underfoot.
We Care Hair, located at the 800 Center, has got a new look. With their new owner, Alice Miller, We Care Hair has all your beauty needs. Nails, haircuts, color, and tanning. All at reasonable prices and 7 days a week. We Care Hair now offers a nail technician Wednesday through Sunday. Walk in or call for an appointment at 226-7977. We Care Hair, open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. till 9 p.m., Saturdays 9 a.m. till 5 p.m., and Sundays from 10 a.m. till 5 p.m.
A fire in Knox killed a man yesterday afternoon. Police report that the man was cleaning products with gasoline when a pilot light from his hot water heater ignited the fumes. Melvin J. Marine was pronounced dead at the scene. The man was 67 years old. The house sustained large amounts of damage, and the police are continuing their investigation into the incident. The Clarion Area Chamber of Commerce is offering a $500 reward to information leading to the capture and convictions of the person or persons who stole 4 Clarion University banners and 4 Autumn Leaf banners off the light posts off 4th Avenue and Main Street. If you have information, call the Chamber of Commerce at 226-9161 or the Clarion Borough Police Department at 226-9140.
Clarion University's CNET project is almost complete. It took over 3 years and $3 million. Work began last semester when the fiber optics cable was run through all campus buildings. Director of Computing Services Karen DeMoro says the aim was to hit the student services first. Some of the benefits from the new network system will be a quicker response when you click on an icon. All terminals connected can use browsers that are installed. There will be more server sharing, and eventually a central storage onto the network will be provided to automatically back up files. A new bicycle route is in the works for Clarion Borough. Council gave approval to $1,200 to be given to its Recreation Committee. The committee will now begin to plan out a possible trail. The 1999 budget has no plans for borough tax increase.
Police are saying an inmate who tried to escape from the Allegheny County Jail on Sunday used a hacksaw to cut through his cell window's metal security bar. It's unknown how the inmate Hassan Abdul Stevens smuggled the hacksaw into his cell. Stevens tied 8 sheets together to use as a rope from his window to the ground. The rope was a little over 25 feet short of reaching the ground. Stevens fell when he reached the end of the rope, breaking his ankle. He was arrested immediately. Stevens was awaiting transport to a federal prison on a cocaine possession conviction.
A sentencing hearing continues today for a man from York County who pleaded guilty to the murder and the stabbing of his estranged wife outside their children's daycare center. Kamal McCrary stabbed Carrie McCrary just after she left her 2-year-old and 4-year-old children at the daycare center. A judge will decide whether McCrary will be sentenced for murder or manslaughter. A defunct nuclear reactor is continuing to slowly journey its way to a grave today. State police and Nuclear Regulatory Commission officers are shepherding the 17-foot-long reactor from Saxton, Bedford County, to Siding near Huntington. The reactor will then be put on a train to South Carolina for burial in a low-level radioactive waste disposal site.
In Healthcast tonight, the Lazarus retail chain is making a mammography center available for shoppers at its new store in Pittsburgh. The center is the first of its kind in Pennsylvania. It is located near the petite sportswear and ladies' dresses section of the store. A new treatment for HIV seems to be working. Whether it was in carefully monitored clinical trial or in the larger community, the 3-drug cocktail that is currently the best available treatment for HIV infection is successful. A new study being published today is the first proof that it delays the onset of AIDS when used by the general population infected with HIV.
A famous face in children's television has died. Bob Troe, who played Bob Dog, Robert Troll, and himself on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, died Monday of a heart attack at his home in Westmoreland County. He was 72 years old. Bob had just taped appearances of the famous children's program Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood last week. An auction could be held as early as February for the seized assets of O.J. Simpson. A judge ruled that the assets can be auctioned to help pay off the multi-million-dollar owned to the estate of Nicole Brown Simpson and the family of Ronald Goldman. The most valuable item seized is one of Simpson's Heisman trophies. The trophy, which is from 1968, does have some dents and scratches.
In space news, a Discovery mission with Ohio Senator John Glenn aboard retrieved satellites that was taking pictures of the sun. They had just released this satellite 2 days ago. The 1.5-ton satellite took pictures of the blazing sun in all its glory Tuesday. In other space news, NASA has announced 2 space launches by the end of the year. These launches will begin construction of the International Space Station. The first launch will happen in 2 weeks. Zarya, a Russian cargo module, will be sent into space. It is the first part of the space station. The second launch will take place on December 3rd, when Space Shuttle Discovery will carry more parts of the space station into orbit.
Former Hurricane Mitch is threatening Florida. The southernmost part of the peninsula and the Keys are going to be the most affected. The storm was downgraded from a tropical storm, but overnight it returned to a tropical storm status. There are currently winds of approximately 45 miles per hour. The winds aren't expected to get any stronger. The coast already has tropical storm warnings and is preparing for a possible 4 to 8 inches of rain. Well, Mike, looks like they're going to have rain, but I saw some snow flurries this morning. Do you think we're going to have a lot anytime soon?
Yes, we are going to have 5 feet of snow by the end of the week. Ha 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 ha. Anyhow, no. Seriously, a system of high pressure is on its way in. Nice weather is on the way. Let's go take a look now at our current conditions. As you can see outside, it is 33 degrees. It is a little bit nippy, so if you're going out, make sure you wear a sweater, a scarf, and a jacket. We reached a high of 41 today. We had a low of 27. Currently, the relative humidity is at 48%. As I mentioned, the system of high pressure is coming into the viewing area, which are going to give us a few nice days, at least through Saturday. Temperatures will begin to drop off by late Friday night. Let's go and take a look now at the 3-day planner for Thursday. It'll be partly cloudy, a high of 44, low of 27 for Friday. Partly cloudy again, high of 40, low of 24, and for Saturday it will be partly cloudy, high of 39 and a low of 27. So all in all, plan for a nice weekend. It is great to be back here, part of the news team again in the Weather Center. Let's send it back to my favorite new anchor, Mark Despotakis. Mark?
Why, thanks, Mike. Coming up next, a look at sports with Ken Pruitt. See you in 60 seconds.
Fill your tummy with the things that are yummy at the Donut Hut. Our menu not only offers a variety of donuts, but many new items such as bagels and English muffins. The Donut Hut also offers a daily lunch special for only $1.95. Stop by on Mondays and receive a small coffee and 2 donuts for 99 cents. Thursdays offer a 10% discounts to students. That's the Donut Hut, located on Main Street in Clarion. Open Monday through Saturday, 5 a.m. to 8 p.m., and on Sundays from 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. Tell them that you saw this commercial on TV5 and receive a free donut at the place with donuts and a whole lot more.
Standing out from the crowd is easy when you stop in at Fashion Bug, located in the Clarion Mall. Whether you're looking for junior trendy, girls, or fashion for women, they have it all with many different styles. With our newly expanded shoe and accessory department, you're surely to find that special touch to enhance that new outfit. And if you have a fashion question, our experts are here to help. That's Fashion Bug, located in the Clarion Mall, just off Exit 9 of Interstate 80. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. till 9 p.m.
The hottest idea in pizza delivery has just arrived. Introducing the Domino's Heat Wave. Your pizza will stay fresh even longer. Stop by or call Domino's today and have your chance to order the new large taco pizza for just $8.99. Plus, for only $8.99, you get large and unlimited topping pizza. And get your medium 1-topping pizza and 10 wings for just $10.99. Call Domino's Pizza today at 226-4067.
Good evening, I'm Ken Pruitt, and this is the sports. It was a slow day last night, but it was a huge night for sports during Election 98 last night. Voters approved plans to build a new stadium for the San Diego Padres and the Denver Broncos. But wrestling great Jesse the Body Ventura scored the biggest upset. The Body was elected as Minnesota's new governor while running on the All-American campaign of Yes to Hemp and Yes to Prostitution. Ventura promptly changed his nickname to The Mind after the day's results were final. See, kids, voting does work. Elsewhere, if you were searching for the opening day in the NBA last night, you may have run your remote batteries dead. The only basketball being played on TV were 3 guys playing horse on the new Nike ads. The NBA canceled all the games till January, while talks between the two sides are seemingly going nowhere. On a sad note, a Charleston Southern football player died just before practice on Tuesday from bleeding in the brain. Scott Weens, a 21-year-old, collapsed on the way to practice on Monday. The defensive lineman spent the night in the hospital and died Tuesday morning. This is the second Buccaneers player to die this year. Freshman running back Kevin Keyes was shot to death when he was carjacked on the way to campus. The Saturday game against Morehead State will be dedicated to Weens. From the Big Shocker file, violence erupted at the UEFA Cup match in London. The soccer match was being played at a neutral site because of violence earlier, but again was postponed due to player injury inflicted by one of the fans. A large firecracker was thrown from the stands, landing beside Philip Flement. The player was taken off the field with minor leg contusions, but the violence didn't stop there. 10 players from opposing teams started to brawl amongst themselves. Nothing happened major, but soccer violence is becoming second nature to the world. Those guys are diehard fans. Kerry Collins put himself back in the news today by issuing a formal apology at a press conference earlier today. Collins was arrested in Charlotte while driving under the influence. He was released on a $1,000 bond. Collins said, "This was my first offense and it will be my last offense." Under the NFL guidelines, he can be fined up to $20,000 and subject to random testing. There were a handful of NHL games last night. Buffalo beat Boston, Calgary upset the Red Wings, New Jersey toppled crosstown rival New York, and the Battle of the PA was left hanging as the Pens and the Flyers tied at 4 in overtime. That'll do it for me, but remember, Clarion plays Lock Haven, and the Steelers will host the Packers on Monday night. Both should be great games, so check them out. Mark, Tracy?
All right, thanks a lot, Ken. Mike is back with a quick recap of the weather. And let me tell you, Mike, coming home from election coverage last night, I was pretty cold, and then I went out this morning, and I was even colder. Please tell me that this is going to end soon.
Oh, boy, Mark, I wish I could tell you that, but no, it actually is not. It's going to be colder tonight. We're going to drop to a low of 25 degrees. And our outlook for Thursday will go to a high of 44, low of 27. It will be a little bit warmer tomorrow, but be expecting colder temperatures by Saturday. So, you know, I just don't know what to tell you. Just bundle up, wear your mittens, scarves, whatever you need to get out there, get out and about, and see what you can do. Tracy, Mark.
The world of entertainment is a vast one, and our Nani Lombard is here to narrow it down to tonight's entertainment report.
Hello, I'm Nani Lombard with a look at what's happening in entertainment. For Clarion University campus, on Friday, November 6th, in the Gemmell Multipurpose Room at 7 p.m., the Clarion International Association presents Up, Up, and Away. It will feature cultural performances and food from around the world. Admissions is free. The Clarion University Jazz Band, directed by Royce Hetrick, will hold its fall concert on Friday, November 6th in the Mark Boyd Auditorium at 8 p.m. The concert is free and open to the public. It will provide a great variety of styles for all listeners. On Sunday, November 8th at 3:15 in the Mark Boyd Auditorium, there will be a contemporary music concert. This annual concert is free to the public and will be presented by the Clarion University Music Department. It will include music, drama, dance, and a duet using a toy piano. Also, on Sunday, there is Lift Every Voice Gospel Fest in the Gemmell Multipurpose Room at 3:30 p.m. On Veterans Day, Wednesday, November 11th, the Paul Robeson Centennial Memorial Concert featuring William Boyles. It will be presented in Hart Chapel at 8:15 p.m. Finally, on Thursday, November 12th, Jesse Nighthawk is to perform in the Hart Chapel at 7:30 p.m. In national entertainment news, NBC finished as the #1 network for prime time last week, due in part to its miniseries about the Temptations, which aired on Sunday, November 1st. Vocal great Peggy Lee is in the Los Angeles hospital after suffering from a stroke last week. Also in news, actress Carrie Fisher is in rehab once again. Her publicist confirms that it is for a prescription medication problem. In music news, there are several recently released albums. Last Tuesday, the new R.E.M. came out. This week, Alanis Morissette's new CD is for sale. After selling 16 million copies of Jagged Little Pill, Alanis Morissette is expected to bring in money with her new album entitled Supposed Former Infatuation Junkie. Also available this week is U2's First Greatest Hits compilation. For sale next week is a collection of Mariah Carey chart toppers and a box set of Bruce Springsteen rarities. The list of new albums due out soon include Joel's CD entitled Spirit. Also, Whitney Houston has a new album which is not yet titled. This is her first studio effort in 8 years. Also soon will be live albums from Hanson, the Rolling Stones, and Pearl Jam. Metallica, Oasis, Seal, and Beck also have new albums due out soon. For television entertainment news, it's November, which means it sweeps. You can expect an extra special month of television programming. The Sweeps month officially began on Thursday, October 29th, and will run through November 25th. The ad in a New York Daily News this week stated that ABC, CBS, NBC, and Fox will be airing extra specials in favor of getting good reads on their everyday series. Here's a quick rundown of some programs airing during November. The X-Files' long-awaited series premiere features the debut of the show's new look in Los Angeles locales. This will air November 8th on Fox. November 27th on ABC, Christopher Reeve stars in a remake of the 1954 Alfred Hitchcock thriller Rear Window. Finally, on November 24th on ABC, NYPD Blue presents a 90-minute episode that bids farewell to Jimmy Smits, Detective Bobby Simone. That's all for entertainment news. Good night.
Thanks, Nani. One more bit of election news for you this evening. topless lawn mowing is now legal in one Maine town. The town of Newport voted yesterday on an anti-topless ordinance. The ordinance didn't pass, so you can mow your lawn topless. The whole incident was sparked by someone who was mowing their lawn topless. A neighbor got mad and called the police. Authorities wouldn't press charges, but did leave the issues up for the voters to decide. That wraps up this edition of TV5 News. I'm Tracy Campbell.
And I'm Mark Despotakis. For Mike Markowinski, Ken Pruitt, Nani Lumbar, and the entire TV5 News team, have a great night.